Hello everyone, this is Sudipto from Technical Potpourri. Today I'll be sharing details about the dynamic action. This is a continuation of my earlier post where I've explained the dynamic form. If you haven't seen that video or seen the post, I put the link in the description of this video. So without any further delay, let's jump in and explore dynamic action together. The thing that we'll be discussing today: what is dynamic action, how you can activate dynamic action, what you can do with the dynamic action, and definitely things that you need to know before you start implementing dynamic action. Here I am in my Salesforce org, and this is a custom object called course, and this is a record. As you can see, this record is not using a dynamic form. So what first I'll do, I'll first convert this page to a dynamic form. And I have shared a detailed video about the dynamic form. I'll put the link of the description. I'll put the link in the description of this video. I'm not going to explain in details about the dynamic form because that's not the agenda of this video. The agenda is we'll be focusing more on the dynamic action. But if you want to know what you can do, what are the things that you should know about dynamic form, then the link is given in the description of this video. Okay, so now this is the course object. So once I go to the course object, I can see there is no lightning record page. This is the place where you find all your dynamic form. So what I can do, I can go here and edit the page. The moment I'll edit the page, it will open the page in the Lightning App Builder. What I'll do, I'll go to detail and click on this one, and then it will ask me to upgrade this form to dynamic form, which I'll do by clicking on the upgrade now option. It will ask you a question, which is okay. I'll click on next, and this asking like from which layout I want to upgrade. I'll choose this layout and click on finish, and boom, I'm done with the dynamic form. So this is a new dynamic form that I've created. So let me quickly, make few arrangement of the fields here and there just to make it look more good. Okay, so I've done that. Let me go ahead and activate this form, and I'm making it as a org default and done. So far we have created the dynamic form. Now the topic of this video is the dynamic action. So how we can do that, this highlight panel, once you click on that, it's telling that we have an option to upgrade to dynamic action. Now, few things that you need to remember: this upgrade to dynamic action will not work until unless you have a highlight panel on your record page. So if you don't see this, dynamic action is not coming, it's because you don't have a highlight panel. And you can always add the highlight panel in your page by going to the component and then type highlight. It will give you that option. You can just drag and drop to your record page, and that will give you the option to upgrade to dynamic action. Okay, so you click there and you click on upgrade now. The moment you do that, it will ask you, it will give you two options. Either you can migrate from the existing page layout, or you can start from the scratch. The migrate from the existing page layout, let's say you have 10 page layouts for a particular object. Then when you choose this option and go to next, what it will give you, it will give you all 10 page layouts, and you need to select one. And then what it will do, Salesforce will migrate all the quick actions that is available on that page layout and make it a dynamic action. So in my scenario, I have only one page layout, which is course layout. So that's why it's getting displayed here. So I'll select that and click on finish. The moment I do that, all things are converted to dynamic action. So it's very easy. Few things that you need to know against all the dynamic action. Few things that you can configure, like how many dynamic action will be by default visible here in the desktop. So currently it's 3, but you can make it 5. And the moment you do that, it's changed, right? You can definitely rearrange the items here. Like if you want to make, let's say edit at the top, you can always put it here, and then by that way, edit will come at the top. Few things that you need to know against each of this quick action, dynamic action, you'll find that there is a small icon. That icon will tell you whether this action is available for desktop and mobile, or it's only specific to mobile. Let's say, for example, edit, right? This icon is telling that it's available for mobile as well as desktop. But if you see the post, it's clearly mentioned like, it's only available for mobile. So I don't want all this gigantic list of dynamic action for this demo. So let me, to delete something. Like I don't need all this thing. So let me go ahead and delete that. Uh, okay. And I think I'm good with this many. So I'll click on save, and that will give me the that will basically change my record page. So these are all the dynamic actions. So you see, like it's very easy, right? You don't need to do any custom coding or anything. It's just some clicks here and there, and it will migrate all your quick actions to dynamic actions. Okay, that's good. But what else we can do? We can do many things with the dynamic action. So I'll go through few of them, or mostly all of them. So let me go to the edit page. So one thing I've already discussed, once you have all your dynamic action, click on the highlight panel, and then you can rearrange them. Like if you want to make delete at the beginning, you can always do that, right? And it's immediately available. So that's one thing that you can do. You can always add a new action. Let's say if like, you remember like just few minutes back, I deleted few of the actions, but let's say I did a mistake. I want to bring the actions back. So what I can do, I can click add, and then I can search for the action. So let's say I want to search for an action called post. So it will give me the option. Then I can bring that action back. I'm not going to do that now here, but the thing that I want to display, let's say take an example of clone. So currently the clone dynamic action is visible to the page every time, but let's say I don't want to do that. I want users to only clone a record when the course fee is greater than 0. It means there is some course fee. So I can always do that. I can change the visibility of this, button. Like I can click on add filter, and I can make like course fee is greater than 0. Done and done. I think I've done that, right? No. Course fee is greater than 0. Done, and then save. Once I do that, if I go back, so in this example, my course fee is what 1,500 Canadian dollar. So I can see the clone, right? Let me edit, and let me make the course fee as 0. I don't see the clone, right? So it's very easy. Normally in this type of scenarios, in previously you need to create multiple page layouts, but now you see like, with one page layout, with one, dynamic form and the dynamic action, you can do all these type of scenarios. So this is one scenario I just want to display. I want to show the next scenario. Let's say the delete, right? Let's take an example of the delete. And you see, right, if you see a quick difference here, against the clone there is an I, so it means it's there is a visibility criteria against that clone. It's a quick, if you have a good amount of actions, then this quick, image or notification will tell you whether this is this action is always visible, or there is some visibility criteria, and you can go and check it out. Okay, so next one, let's say delete. I don't want people to delete record when they are in the mobile. So what I can do, that I can click on delete and add a filter. And in the device, previously I was doing a filter based on the record field. This time I'll go to the device, and my criteria is like when someone is, viewing this record in their mobile phone, I don't want them to delete. So what I can do, the form factor, I can make it not equals to phone. What it will do, it will not give the delete option when they will see this page in the mobile window, right? So that's one thing we can do. And there is one more thing we can do again. Let's take an example of edit, right? So my scenario is like, I don't want people to edit a course record until unless in their profile or in their permission set the API is enabled. There is a permission called API enabled. So until unless that permission is checked, I don't want them to go ahead and edit some record. So that is also I can do. So this time I'll click on edit, click on add filter. So I've shown you the record field usage in the filter criteria. I've shown you the device, and this time I'll go to the advanced. So in the advanced, what I'll do, I'll go to the permissions and then standard permission and then API enabled. So API enabled equals to true. So what it is telling, edit button will only be visible to those users for which the API enabled permission is checked. You do that, you're done, save, and you're done. So you see, like, we have, it's a one single page with a multiple dynamic actions. And then depending on the scenarios, we are configuring which dynamic action will appear for whom, right? Previously, for this type of scenarios, we will normally create, we need to create multiple page layouts. But with this dynamic action and dynamic form, we don't need to do that. It's one single dynamic form and dynamic action, set of dynamic actions, and we can put the visibility criteria. So that's good thing. Now, few things that you need to remember. As I said, without highlight panel, the dynamic action will not work. So if you see your dynamic action is not coming or upgrade to dynamic action is not coming, it's the reason is you don't have a record page. You don't have a highlight page on your highlight panel on your record page. So go ahead and add that in your record page. That's something that you need to do. Second thing, that is something you need to remember. If you give someone an edit permission, that doesn't mean that person can edit all the fields. So what I'm trying to see, what I'm trying to tell you, who can see what and who can do what, that is still controlled by that logged in user's profile and permission set. This dynamic action has nothing to do with the permission of the logged in user. So that's something very important and we all need to keep in mind. Another thing, as I was telling for the dynamic form also, it's a one-way route. Once you configured your quick actions to the dynamic action, you see, you don't have any option to go back to the previous state. But in your case, if you really need to do that, there is a way, which is basically, deleting everything and starting from the scratch. But I want to show you how you can do that. Let's say I've done all this thing, but I realized, okay, this is not something that I want, right? What I can do, first thing that I need to do, okay, before that, once you do all this thing, go to your object manager, and then this is the object that I'm dealing with right now. And if I do a refresh, under lightning record page, I can see this course record page. This is a new dynamic form that was created for me. Okay, so now coming back to the previous one, right? I have done all the changes, but I realized like this is not what I want. I want something else. So I have to delete that. I can't delete immediately because this page is activated and is used org-wise, right? So first thing I need to do, I need to deactivate. So the way to do that, click on activate and then remove as org default. What it will do, it's remove the page. It's remove the activation, right? Once you do that, go back to your object manager, open that object and go to the lightning record page. And then from here, you can delete this one. Once you do that, come here, your page is the previous one. It doesn't have dynamic form, it doesn't have the dynamic action, and you can now configure all things starting from the scratch. So these are the few things that you should know before you start implementing the dynamic action. Let me know how you like this video and what are the type of use cases you are implementing with this dynamic form and dynamic action. I personally feel dynamic form and dynamic actions, they complement each other very well. And this two feature is basically these two features are basically giving admins a good amount of power, they can, so that they can do their job without doing any custom coding. So I feel these two are very powerful features that was introduced by Salesforce. If you like this video, please share and hit the like icon, and also please subscribe to my channel to get update about all my upcoming videos. Thank you.